can't play with us. See where this game here taking us? No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard for your mom to your pop to the beat to the bird, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold.
Menu narration option is set to off. Menu narration option is set to off.
I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Masterpiece, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for all you got to love it like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Murray now on first down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Murray to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's complete. Hooper. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That good for 19 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. First down, and they stick with Eckler. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The starters now on the defensive side of the ball for Indianapolis. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve, because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
On second down, Eckler. And an alley to run. And running with power here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Running on first down, Eckler. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So they've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Draw play, it's Eckler. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
To throw is Murray. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Check 26, check 26. Lead them.
Throwing on first down. Lawrence. It's caught by Aguilar. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. The 34-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it. Shoot.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to throw. Lawrence. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Brian Kelly's a great example of how valuable the centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the 2nd and 3rd level and deliver blocks.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
That's the way.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Lawrence eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And trying to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first. Going on the ground with Eckler. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd and 1, Murray. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Sack, baby! Sack, baby!
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Colts pick it up. Look at the big man rumble. 20. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. The big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Darius Leonard picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. To throw on 3rd down, Murray, and finding the tight end Hooper. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the 1st down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own side.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at his draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Out. Get it.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. The Jets continuing to pour it on. They're opening the lead up even further. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Murray. It's caught. Humphreys. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Oh, now Murray has it stripped. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
On 1st down, Lawrence. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Hey, Echo!
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. This will be caught inside the 10. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Come on, set! 10-2 stop! Recon, 132 fighter!
It's been a long day for you. Hey, check 20.
Leo!
Kill!
Deep rip!
They'll run here with Mack. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and 8. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. From 8 yards out. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it. Unfolding
so far so good for him. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, and that one just before halftime with the Jaguars out on top. D.D. Westbrook, a touchdown reception. From there, let's head to the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado. Check in on the Broncos. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Auden Tate, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. 28-14 was your final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
To throw on second down. Lawrence firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Hey, lock it.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Flush to his right. And I think the ball's out. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. Following that fumble recovery, it's Murray. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On the ground, it's Eckler. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Shotgun now from Murray. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 14.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll try the jet sweep with Kirk. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That's right, baby. They don't want
To throw on 3rd down. Murray, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And his kick is good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Pilot, 64, weak. Quick dance. Ready.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Gator. Bam. Undercrush.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence completes it to Aguilar. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Landry now on the return. That's a 49-yard punt, 8th though on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He's got Hooper on the short connection. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals are going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
On play action, it's Murray. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. 1st and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Eckler. And he is in for 6. Touchdown Cardinals. Austin Eckler, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a handoff looking right. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or 2 if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
General West.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Now they try the right side here. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Sam on. Guard. Check
25. Here's a 2nd and 7. Going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Emmanuel Ogbah showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Hard. Shift. Watch the shift.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Well, he's going to go for it all. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Come on now, let's go.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Murray now on 1st down. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Murray. This is caught by Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Murray now to throw. Murray fighting. Lost the football. Murray, he's used to moving fast at Oklahoma. He'll get his guys up to the line. Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on fourth down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Murray and company going for it on fourth. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as he'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here.
Got it. 58, 58, Mike. Watch the backer, watch the backer. Ready.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
A gain of 10.
Here we go, let's bring
Brings
it.
up third and
61, Matchbox Light. Under 10, under Bravo.
Back to throw. Lawrence toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
ST.